This is the Australian Mobile DJ Podcast. In this series, we'll talk to them, get to know them, and learn from them. And here's your host, DJ Bevo.
Hey, this time we're jumping on a plane and heading over to Thailand. Yes, we're catching up with Paul Anthony, who runs a company from Thailand, which is based in Melbourne, Australia. We're talking about Discosource DJs and a little app which DJs can use. He's the man behind it. He joins me live on the messenger from a place called Thailand. Are you in Phuket? Is that where you are, Paul?
No, I'm actually up in the north. I'm on a mango farm at the moment.
Oh, right. Okay. What's the name of the area up there?
This area is called Supanburi.
Oh, wow. He's got the native tongue as well. Fantastic. So how's things for you, mates, in beautiful Thailand?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's like nice blue skies every day. And up where I am at the moment, I don't have to drive the car or ride the bike much. So it's just, easygoing days. I'm just working on my business all day, every day.
Oh, lovely. So what brings you to Thailand?
It's a bit of a long story, but look, I've been coming here for about 10 years, and I just love the lifestyle here. I like the weather, the clubs, things are a little bit cheaper. And I like the culture as well. The Thai people, very friendly, happy people, and it's just a good place to be.
Yeah, lucky man. Hey, tell us about your company.
Discosource, yeah.
Yeah, tell us about that.
All right, well, look, I started my business many years ago when I was 16 years old, ran in the 1997, so many years ago now. And I built my DJ business up. I went from 1 set to 2 sets, 2 sets to 4 sets, 4 sets to 8 sets. I grew until by 2010, I had 16 sets of equipment. I had a warehouse and many DJs working for me and 2 or 3 full-time staff. So I really blew my business up in those 10 years. And then since then, I've done a full conversion. I've downsized my business, sold all my equipment, and turned myself into more of an agency now, which enables me to run the business from Thailand.
Yeah, sounds like you're living the dream there, Paul. I'm sure a lot of us would like to be in a lovely, exotic place and run our businesses from overseas like you are.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out, actually. Once I first did come here about 2011, I think, first time I came here, I realized that I wanted to change my lifestyle because, running the business how it was back then, I was, working long days from 10 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. And then on the weekend, I might have 15 or 20 DJ gigs. So there was a lot of things to organize, a lot of stress, and I never had much time to relax. So when I did come here the first time, I already made a decision within the first week or two that I was going to start learning the language and find a way to spend more time here. So it's been a bit of a journey.
Let's talk about how you first got into DJing. I mean, everyone's got their little story. Usually someone was sick and you were there at the time when the DJ didn't turn up. Is that a similar story for you, or is it just a passion which you followed with your love of music?
It's almost a bit like that, actually, but it wasn't like a one particular incident. My older brother was one of those, I guess you could say, he used to hang out with the wogs at school, the wogs and the Aussies. And so he used to really love DJing. That's what all the Europeans used to love doing. And so he worked for Moby Disc at the time in the 90s, of all businesses. And he was working there for a while. He went on holiday to Europe for 6 months. He left all the DJ equipment in the garage while he was away. And I think we had it was my auntie's 40th birthday or something. And I was like, well, we've got the equipment in the garage. We've got some CDs there. And so I just ended up becoming the DJ.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So, I just took the reins and sort of went from there. And then, when I actually, after I did that a few times, then I actually convinced a friend of mine who was working at McDonald's when I was about 16 or 17. I convinced him to put $2,000 aside in like a loan, and we went and bought a smoke machine and some lights and a few bits and pieces to complete a set of equipment, and we put an ad in the local paper and just started getting bookings like that.
When it comes to music, what's your favourite genre, or what do you like to listen to in your downtime?
In the last 20 years, I've been through so many different styles of music. From, back 20 years ago, it used to be a lot of hip hop and R&B. But in the last 10 years, I've gone through trance, and now I like to listen to glitch hop, and even like a little bit of dubstep, and anything electronic and cool, and I like house music as well. But yeah, glitch hop is one of my favorites, actually.
I can't say I've actually heard of glitch hop before. You might have to run me through it. What would make a song glitch hop?
Glitch hop is obviously it's a bit like hip hop in terms of the tempo, but then glitch has that electronic touch to it, where you hear little noises that sound like the CD's kind of jumping or something like that, or the music's skipping.
Oh, right.
It's got a slight dubstep feel to it.
Yeah, I was just thinking dubstep. That's what came to mind when I first heard it.
But it's different to dubstep because in terms of production, it's you kind of go in and cut the sounds up a lot more and make that glitch sound, so it sounds like something's glitching, if that makes any sense. But if you want to check out some artists, Haywire and Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill's from Sydney, by the way. Okay. They're two really good artists.
Yeah, I'll look that up after we finish recording here. So let's talk about your time in Thailand as a DJ. What are they into there? Is it mainly tourists that you're playing to, or is it the locals?
Around 2012, 2013, I managed to score a gig at a rooftop nightclub here. A lot of the Thai DJs, they play really techie electro house, and now they play a lot of EDM. So that's what people like to hear in the clubs, because they come here and they're here for a week and they get drunk and they just want to hear, bang, bang party music. But when I was DJing at the rooftop club, I was playing like house, tech house, deep house, so all different genres of house music. So yeah, that's mainly what you get in the party side. And then I managed to also, get myself into the wedding DJ industry over here as well. So DJing a few weddings, and obviously that's just a bit like normal mobile DJ stuff, except you're on a mountain overlooking the ocean somewhere. So it's
tough life, Paul.
Yeah. No, the weddings are fun, actually.
Absolutely. It sounds fantastic. Yeah. Now let's talk about your app, which you've come out with. Of course, many mobile DJs are familiar with DJ Intelligence and DJ Planner. You wrote your own app.
Yeah, so it actually all started with my older brother, who is actually another one of my brothers, actually, because I've got four brothers. He's a software developer, and he offered to start making an app for me around 20 years ago, around the year 2000. And so we started developing this app to help manage my bookings, and this kind of grew with my DJ business at the same time. And it was around 2012, once I sort of wanted to transform my business, that I sort of came up with the idea to rebuild this app to an online platform, which is now known as Eventmaster Pro.
Eventmaster Pro, that's the one. I was just trying to remember what it was called. I've seen you posted on a few of the groups and saying that you had your own app, and everyone's going, oh, cool, tell us more about it, blah, 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 blah. So how does it compare to like DJ Intelligence and DJ Event Planner? Is it a lot more simplifying, so it's more user-friendly?
I think it is a bit more user-friendly because I'm, coming from a creative background, and I also do web design. I've made the user interface very nice looking, like it's very modern looking. But also it's got a lot of email automation. So it's got a lot of powerful features that you normally, it's more complicated to set this kind of stuff up. It brings that to you in an easy way. So if you make a trial with the account, straight off the bat, the app will automatically just be ready to send automatic quotes and follow up your inquiries for you.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So it's a lot less thinking involved, and it's pretty much set up for you, and you just need to type in your own personal stuff that you need for your own business.
That's it. You pretty much put your business details in. You put your pricing in. Maybe you can adjust the occasions and just to set up your time zone. It's not too complicated. Like I've heard people talking about some of the other ones like DJ Event Planner that it takes a few days to set up, but once you get it set up, it's awesome. And I'm thinking a few days, it shouldn't take that long. So look, Event Master Pro, you just sign up for an account, you go and put in your business details in, you set your prices, set your regions, and it's pretty much ready to go. Then you just maybe want to customize the template emails.
Oh, wow. So anyone wanting to find out about Event Master Pro, what do we need to do?
We just head on over to eventmasterpro.com, click Get Started, and anyone can have a 30-day free trial to check it out. And after that, it's for an individual user, it's about $30 Australian per month for the average DJ working for himself.
Oh, that sounds cool. So have you got international people signing up to get the app?
I've had many internationals sign up for trials, but I've only just in the last year realised there's been a few little things I need to fix, such as in America, they don't use the word suburb. They just call all suburbs cities.
Oh,
so, so I'm working on fixing that. But also a difference between the Australian DJ industry and the American DJ industry is I found that they're really adamant about the booking contract. So we're actually working on building a proper contract and signing system within the app, but it's not ready yet. And it seems to be an absolute requirement, an absolute must for American DJs, whereas the Australian DJs don't really seem to care too much about the contract side of things, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting comparing the two markets. Obviously, there's some different wordings for towns and suburbs and cities and all that sort of stuff, but also the contract side of things. Where do you see DJing going in the future with COVID-19 obviously shutting down and restricting a lot of things that we can do?
It's hard to say, actually, but I've always, even before this stuff, had ideas of how you could DJ remotely for someone. Like if you could somehow, have a computer set up at a party and then, so that you could actually see the crowd. My actual idea I had a while ago was sitting there like a security guard DJing like 10 parties at once. Imagine like choosing songs for multiple parties and being able to see the crowd on the dance floors, and DJing multiple parties, which would be possible if you could multitask. I guess we'll see how things go in the next year, if things kind of clear up or if they don't. But if they don't, I guess, we're going to be moving towards more of a remote DJing kind of thing, like a Skype type of a thing.
It's kind of bizarre, isn't it? Like, not in a million years we expect it to happen to us. We've had such a good run. There hasn't been a massive outbreak or pandemic like this since like the Spanish flu back in the early 1900s. So here we are experiencing again in our lifetime like that. All right, Paul. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us from Discosource DJs. Give us a bit of a plug. Where can we find you on the internet and all that sort of stuff with your business?
Yeah, look, if you want to check out my DJ website, it's mobiledj.com.au, which...
wow! You've got the most amazing domain. You must have kickstarted your website in the very beginning when internets were around.
I got that about 10 years ago, actually, and I only just upgraded my website, so I hadn't used it until now, and then I thought, I'm just going to use it now, because it's actually a good, easy-to-remember domain. You can go to mobiledj.com.au, but also check out my website. I built my own DJ website, so if anyone out there needs any help with their own DJ business website, feel free to hit me up as well, and I'd be happy to help you out there as well.
Paul Anthony, thanks for joining us all the way from sunny Thailand.
Thanks, Lee.
Absolute pleasure. If you want to find out more about this podcast, you can check out our website too, the australianmobiledj.com.au.
The Australian Mobile DJ podcast was hosted by DJ Bevo and produced by Matt Fulton Productions.